Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to my Christmas gift guide. So I thought I would do something a little different from my Christmas gift guide because I've seen lots of other people doing them and similar products always seem to be mentioned, and I just thought I would do a little twist and talk you through the favourite things that I've ever been bought, so my favourite presents, plus the things that I've bought for other people. And yeah, I think that I've got a few really good, different and quirky ideas, so I hope that you find something a bit different or a bit unusual in my gift guide, and hopefully it gives you some inspiration if you are still looking for your Christmas gifts, because I know I am. So yes, I really hope that you enjoy this video, and let's get on with my Christmas gift guide. My first idea is to find something that reminds somebody of their favourite place. So for example, whether you and your partner went somewhere special for your first holiday or on honeymoon, or just a place that the person you are buying for really loves. So one of my favourite ever presents that was actually bought for me by my husband Matt is a painting of Venice. It's just a print, it's not an original, but yeah, it's a lovely painting of Venice that we have framed hanging in our living room. And we went to Venice on a day trip whilst we were on a holiday in Italy, and he knows that I really loved it, really want to go back. So yes, that was a brilliant present for me, and that is a great idea, just to find a painting. I think it's just a bit different rather than buying a photo or having one of your own photos framed. A painting is just really lovely. On a similar level, you could also look for vintage postcards. Now, if somebody, again, likes a certain place, but also they're interested in vintage things or antiques or just history in general, then finding some vintage or old postcards I feel is really interesting. And you can find vintage postcards that haven't been written on, but you can also find some that have been written on, so they were written on, you know, back in the 50s or even the 70s, and I love those ones because I just think it's so interesting seeing what people were writing back then and the kind of things that they were saying. And obviously the postcard shows you what the place looks like. I just think it's a really cute idea. And best of all, if you are looking for a budget gifts, then you can find them literally for kind of a couple of pounds or even less. I just think it's a really lovely idea, and it's definitely something a bit different. My next present idea is one of my favourite things that Matt has ever done for me, and that is to take me to see a ballet. He knows that I love ballet. I used to do it when I was younger, and yeah, I just really love to watch it. So he has bought me tickets to see a couple, maybe 2 or 3 ballets across the years. So if you know somebody that likes something like that, whether it's dance or whether it's musical or whether it's a show, a theatre show, something like that, buying them tickets is something to look forward to too. You could even combine it with a night away. So Matt once booked tickets for a theatre in Devon, and we stayed there overnight, which is a special place to us as well anyway. So it was kind of a 2-in-1 present. But yeah, that is a lovely thing to do. My next present idea is to do with jewellery. Now, don't switch off. I know I said these were a bit different, and I'm sure jewellery is probably mentioned in every single gift guide, especially for women. It tends to be, doesn't it? But I thought I would just share with you some little different twists on jewellery that you might not have thought about. So Matt bought me just a plain linked bracelet, and then every year for birthday and Christmas he's bought me loads and loads of different charms. So he's bought me ones for different places that we've been. For example, he bought me a little gondola because, as I said, I love Venice. He's bought me a little charm for when we got married. He bought me a little mum and baby for when Arthur was born. So yes, there are just loads and loads of different charms that you can find. Again, somewhere like eBay or Etsy, you can just find so many, and you can find really different ones and vintage ones too. So again, if the person you are buying for likes vintage things, then you can definitely find vintage charms too, because Matt has bought me some. And yeah, I just think it's really personal, and for me personally, I prefer that to a charm bracelet you can just buy like charms for that look very similar and that loads of people may have. The charms that Matt have bought me, I'm pretty sure that only I have got that combination of charms. So yes, it's a really great present. A slightly cheaper but personalised jewellery item is buying a silver locket, and my mum has bought me one of these, so it's just If you don't know, you probably do, but it's a necklace and it's a little locket, so you open it up and there are spaces to put photographs. So whether that is a loved one, it's a partner, it could be a pet or something else, I don't know. But yeah, it's really, really personal. You could obviously put photos in it, or you could just leave that up to the person you're buying for. And that idea is slightly cheaper too. You could even think about having jewellery engraved, so again that makes it really, really personal to the person you are buying for. Speaking about engraving, another gift idea which I have been bought for by my sister, and I've bought my niece one of these, is a silver box, and you could engrave the top of that as well. So my sister had my name engraved on the top of mine, and then when I bought one for my niece I had her name engraved on hers. Hers was the shape of a heart and mine is a hexagon, I think. And yeah, again, that is fairly cheap. I think probably around 10 to 15 pounds, so it wasn't too bad at all. And if I can remember the website I found mine on, I will leave it for you linked below. But yes, that is a lovely present idea too. Another gift idea is to buy a book for somebody, and okay, you might think that's a bit boring, but if a person really likes a certain author or a certain series or something, you can find different editions of books. I'm not necessarily talking about first editions because of course they are very expensive, but you can find kind of older versions or ones that just look a bit different, kind of special editions, and I think that's a really nice idea for somebody. Now, I'm the type of person that really loves genuine, antique, old things, vintage things, and a great place to look for these things is just eBay. You can find so much on there. So Matt has bought me a vintage photo frame, he's bought me some retro mugs. That's just kind of old Disney mugs, so they're not antiques, probably not even classed as vintage, but I think it's classed as retro. It kind of depends how old they are. But yeah, you can find so much on there. I've bought Matt different ornaments, he's bought me a lovely Art Deco vase. You can find so many nice and pretty things. So if somebody likes a certain something, and if you can buy something that's a bit older, you know that it's a bit more unique and that not many people will have that item. And along the lines of kind of vintage presents, a really nice idea is to find a present that will evoke a memory for somebody. So for example, there is a great website called Truffle Shuffle, which has lots of things from different movies and TV shows, and ones from kind of years gone past too, not like really old, it is more retro. But for example, I bought my sister a top with Round the Twist. If you don't know, that was a TV programme probably from the 80s or 90s, we are 80s children. So yeah, that was a great gift because it was just something that reminded her. I thought of the programme that we used to watch together when we were children. Similarly, if you want to evoke a memory for somebody, you could get a genuinely old item. So I bought a Bagatelle game from Matt because, well, one, we used to play with this with my family when we went to a certain National Trust property, but when we were doing that, he also said that he used to play this game at his nan's, which I thought was a lovely memory to try and kind of recreate. So I went onto eBay and I found a vintage Bagatelle game and I purchased that, and it wasn't too bad a price. And yeah, he was really pleased with that. So finding kind of vintage and antique things, especially if it can remind somebody of a memory, like a precious moment perhaps, then that is a lovely present idea. Now, my next gift idea isn't necessarily that unusual, but I just wanted to include it because it's something that me and Matt buy for each other every single year, and that is a calendar. So you might think that is a bit boring, but if you are looking for a calendar for somebody, just make sure that it's something that they really love. So we love Cornwall and we love animals, so we always make sure that we find a calendar that kind of every single picture means something or is something that the other one likes. My next gift idea for Christmas, or for any time actually, is to find something a bit crafty or something that's been a bit personalised. So the website Etsy is fantastic for this, and it also supports kind of smaller shops and individual people as well that kind of make and sell things. So for example, if you don't know what to find for somebody, what to buy for somebody, but you know what they like or know what they need, just put a couple of things into the search bar on Etsy and see what comes up. So for example, I know that my sister needed a bag, and I know that she also likes guinea pigs, and I know that she likes Kath Kiston, and I can't remember what words I put into the search bar, But yes, this was a couple of years ago, and I managed to find somebody that makes bags out of Kathkistan fabric, and I found one of a guinea pig design, which was really, really sweet, and I thought perfect for my sister, and she does still use it now, so obviously it was a good buy. And you can find things relatively cheap on Etsy, but there are more expensive ones too. I know that Matt, and I think he bought it from Etsy, I'm not sure, it could have been from an independent website, but he found somebody that makes mirrors. And as I said, I love vintage and antique things. So what he bought for me was a mirror made in the style of an arts and crafts, and he had that made, and obviously that was expensive because it was made for me. But yeah, that was a really lovely present too. I know this year it might be a bit different and you might not have this kind of thing going on in your area, but if you can get to a Christmas market or craft fairs, then I would definitely recommend it, because you definitely can find some different items, some unique things to buy, and again, it's supporting the small businesses and local people out there, which I think is really important. Another gift idea is to buy somebody a Christmas bauble or a Christmas tree decoration, and I bought Matt one of these, and again I had it personalised. I think it was actually somebody that I found on Instagram. They were called, I think, Clouds and Pineapples, and she makes lovely decorations from clay, lots of different things too. And yes, I chose the design I wanted and then asked her to put certain words on it, and it was a lovely, lovely Christmas tree decorations. And then kind of from that, we tend to buy each other, or one of us buys a Christmas tree decoration every year, so it's kind of become a little tradition. But yeah, that was a lovely little Christmas present too. My next idea is clothing, which isn't necessarily anything special in itself, but I would definitely recommend thinking of a brand that the person you like loves, but maybe doesn't always want to get because it's too expensive, and then you can find one slightly cheaper on eBay. So one of my favourite ever clothing items is actually a cardigan that Matt found for me. I think it was by White Stuff, I think, which I've kind of always admired but never bought anything from, because to me it's quite expensive. But Matt found a lovely cardigan. It was as good as new. I don't mind second hand, and charity shops are also brilliant for this too, I should say. But yes, he bought me a lovely cardigan, and it's literally one of my favourite things to wear. So if you know a make, and just in general, if you know of a brand or a type of clothing that people love, then definitely have a little look online and see what you can find. Equally, vintage clothing is really popular. It can be really expensive. As soon as you put the word vintage in, it kind of bumps up the price, which is a bit annoying. But again, charity shops are brilliant for that. Another Christmas gift idea is to make somebody a little pamper hamper, I say. You can make hampers, of course, from anything. You can just buy bits and bobs to put in there. But specifically, I wanted to mention a pamper hamper, which I think maybe is even more so needed for people this Christmas. So, for example, you could pop in hot chocolate, a mug, you could even put in a little bottle of wine perhaps, you know, those kind of individual bottles. You could put in some fluffy socks, a bath bomb, and that could be really cheap. So I've actually done this twice for a Secret Santa, for different people of course, 2 different years. And yeah, I think altogether you can spend probably between £5 and £10 on that, just putting a few little things in. So like I said, toiletries, in like hot chocolate or wine, hand cream, and it just makes a really nice little present. If you wanted to spend a bit more, you could make a different, bigger hamper, and you could put anything in it. So it could just be things that the person loves. If it was a birthday present and say they were turning 30, you could put in 30 things that they like. I think that's a really nice idea. It could be a food hamper. The list is just endless, but I think it just shows a lot of thought, and it does take time and effort. Of course it does. I appreciate that. But I think the end product is really, really worth it, and the person you're giving it to will for sure appreciate it. My last gift idea that I wanted to share is finding a signed picture or photograph. So if somebody you know really likes a certain celebrity or a TV programme, or it could be a sports person, see if you can find something with their autograph on. So I know Matt has bought his parents signed photos of the Harry Potter actors, because we all love Harry Potter in both our families, and yeah, he's found some lovely signed pictures of them. But if you know somebody, and like I said, maybe they are a football fan, you can find something signed, and that is just so different, and I think that's a really good, unusual present to buy. So those are my favourite Christmas presents or birthday presents that I think I've ever been bought and that I can think of. I'm sure I will probably think of more once I film this, and probably once I'm edited. I expect more will come to me. But anyway, I think that's enough for you to be going on with. I really hope that you enjoyed them, and I hope it gave you some inspiration, and I hope it gave you some different ideas too. I know I could have talked about jewellery and candles and perfumes and all that kind of stuff, but yeah, I just wanted to do something a little bit different. So I really hope that you found this video to be so. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm posting videos about motherhood, so baby routines and updates, mum hacks, grocery hauls, and just generally mum life videos. So I really hope that you find something on my channel, and I would love you to subscribe to me. But thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope to see you in my next one. Bye everyone!